Diddy once bragged about adopting a white daughter off the street. In the video, she said her name was Ava Baroni Combs. Twitter's community notes said it was a joke, but people are not so sure. You see, Diddy's ex-bodyguard said the reason Diddy's homes were raided was because he made girls go into ex-traffic work. And some say Ava was part of this ring.
My name's Ava. I'm a Scorpio.
No. What's your last name?
Oh, Ava Combs.
What's your other last name?
Ava Baroni.
Ava Baroni Combs? Yes, it was breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child. I want you to tell them the story about how I adopted you. But you still have beautiful parents but you're my child also.
Okay, so do you guys remember Ava Baran, Diddy's so-called adopted daughter? She was introduced to the world during the pandemic. Diddy sat there hyping her up, calling her Ava Baran Combs, saying he adopted her just like Madonna or Sandra Bullock. He even made her repeat her name like some PR stunt. But something always felt off. Ava looked uncomfortable. And that's where the story gets strange, because now, years later, Ava is back. And word is she's not just back for attention, she's got serious allegations, not just against Diddy, but against his son Christian Combs. People thought she was adopted out of kindness, but now it's looking like that whole rescue moment might have just been a cover. Fans have started putting pieces together, and it's pointing to something way darker. The same mansion that Diddy paraded her in might be the same place she was allegedly used and discarded. He's already facing a lawsuit for alleged SA, but now rumors say Ava was the first one who went through it. And that's why she disappeared. This isn't just some gossip. This could actually blow things wide open. Because if what Ava's saying is true, then Christian and maybe even Diddy could be in some deep trouble.
So, I was on the streets, and then Papa Combs decided that he would like to be a caring man. So then he saw me and decided to pick me up and to come inside and play with his kids.
Let's rewind real quick to 2020. Everyone was stuck at home, and then out of nowhere, Diddy goes live on Instagram and introduces a girl named Ava Barron. He says he adopted her. The video showed this young white girl sitting next to Diddy and his twin daughters. He even had her repeat her full name, Ava Barron Combs, like he was branding her into the family. He went on this long rant trying to explain how he adopted her, like Madonna or Sandra Bullock, and that she still had beautiful parents, but he was also her black father now. Ava tried to follow along, but it was awkward. You could tell she wasn't fully comfortable. At one point, she said, "I was on the streets and Papa decided he would like to be a caring man," and Diddy immediately tried to clean it up, telling her to explain how he got permission from her mom. It was all over the place. And here's the thing, Ava looked uncomfortable. Her body was stiff, her smile was forced, and she didn't talk like someone who felt at home. It was supposed to be this sweet adoption moment, but instead it felt weird, like something wasn't being said. Diddy kept trying to joke it off and keep things moving, but people watching caught the vibe. It wasn't right. That whole live stream was confusing. One second he's saying she's been around since she was 6 months old. The next, he's acting like this was a sudden rescue mission. There was no legal clarity, no official adoption statement, just vibes and weird storytelling. But after that video, Ava literally disappeared from the public eye. The girl who was just added to the Combs family out of nowhere was suddenly nowhere. And now that Diddy's legal problems are piling up, Ava's name is popping up again, and people are starting to realize that she might have vanished because of what really went down behind the scenes.
What are we doing tonight, baby?
We're making desserts for our bonfire tomorrow.
Okay.
Because, yeah, and like everyone that was invited has to bring something, and then our thing that we had to bring was dessert. And then like everyone else, they bring like food and drink.
Let's be real. Back in 2020, Diddy's image needed a little polishing. He knew what he was doing. That live stream happened at the peak of lockdown. People were bored, emotional, and ready to uplift anything that looked like unity or kindness. But now, fans are saying the quiet part out loud. Maybe Ava was just a prop in a bigger PR play. Think about it, after Ava's adoption, Diddy got tons of praise. People called him generous, selfless, even visionary, but then he stopped talking about her. And behind the scenes, That's when things with Diddy really started getting messy. These allegations, lawsuits, and dark rumors started leaking out. Fans now think he used Ava as a distraction, a tool to shift attention from what was brewing inside his mansion. Even people in the industry have spoken out. Gilly went viral recently saying folks in the game have always known Diddy was hiding something. According to him, these stories about Diddy's behavior have been circulating for years, only now the public is catching on. And when you look at the timing, it makes sense. Ava shows up during a moment when Diddy needs a clean image, then she disappears when the heat turns up. That's not how real family works, that's how a publicity stunt works. But it's not just about Diddy anymore. Ava's coming forward and her story is dragging Christian Combs straight into the fire. Because while most of the headlines focus on Diddy, his son Christian is in the middle of his own serious legal battle, and it's not looking good. In April of last year, a woman named Grace O'Markay filed a lawsuit against Christian Combs. She was working as a stewardess on a luxury yacht called Victorious that Christian had leased over the holidays. According to her, what was supposed to be a work trip turned into a nightmare. The court documents say Diddy had full control of the staff and the space, and soon the yacht was filled with celebrities, adult workers, and illegal substances. O'Markay claimed she was repeatedly harassed and essayed by Christian. She said she tried to avoid him each time, but there was one moment where things escalated. According to the suit, Christian blocked her from leaving the yacht's cinema room. He allegedly cornered her, got aggressive, and even removed his clothes, trying to force her to perform a act. She pushed him away, fought back, and luckily a fellow crew member walked in, which gave her a chance to escape. The trauma didn't end there. She said she was later fired after speaking up. She lost her job, her relationship, and her mental health started to break down. Panic attacks, anxiety, even thoughts of ending her life. That's what she says she's been living with since that day.
The accuser was a crew member on the yacht. She was a bartender, and she says that shortly after this incident with the shot, she says she was cornered in a room. She says things became aggressive and physical, and then says that Christian Combs forced himself on her, and then says that it wasn't until another employee on the yacht came into this room.
Now, Christian's legal team tried to get the case thrown out, but the judge denied it. That means the court believes there's enough evidence for the case to move forward. It's heading to trial, and that alone says a lot. But here's the thing, this isn't just about Grace. Word on the street is that Christian's pattern of behavior didn't start on that yacht. Rumors are saying that Ava Barron was the first person he allegedly harmed. And this didn't happen somewhere random. It happened inside the Combs mansion. If what people are saying is true, then Christian used his position, the trust his father built around Ava, and the silence of that house to allegedly mistreat her. She wasn't just a guest. She was a vulnerable young girl brought in during the pandemic, given a new last name, then allegedly pushed aside after things got dark. And here's where it really gets disturbing. Word is Ava was the first victim and the family did everything to silence her. Sources say she wasn't just uncomfortable, she was scared. Inside that mansion, she allegedly felt isolated, mistreated, and eventually discarded, especially after whatever happened between her and Christian. At first, she was paraded around. She was introduced to the family. Diddy acted like he saved her life. But once the cameras turned off and the spotlight faded, Ava was left alone in a house full of men who were already surrounded by questionable rumors. And if the whispers are true, Christian allegedly took advantage of her being there, knowing she had no power, no voice, and nowhere else to go. When she stopped being useful, she was pushed out. Imagine being a young girl taken in by a famous billionaire during a global crisis. You're promised love, stability, family, and instead you end up in a house full of secrets, surrounded by people with influence and legal teams, people who can erase you without a trace. That's what Ava allegedly lived through. Now, with Diddy under legal fire and Christian's case heating up, Ava is finally coming forward. She's not doing it for fame or attention. She's doing it because she finally feels safe enough to speak, safe enough to tell the truth. And her truth might shake this whole thing apart. But now that Diddy's empire is crumbling, Ava's stepping out of the shadows and she's ready to talk.
There's a whole public relations side of this. Diddy is going to want to put up affront of an innocent person. And sometimes the best defense is a good offense. Right now, investigators are going through the evidence that they seized. What they're really looking for are videos of the alleged.
So here's the latest buzz going around. Ava might actually testify in Christian's upcoming trial, and if that happens, things could spiral fast. Legal insiders are already saying that her account could be crucial, especially if the story she tells lines up with what Grace O'Marque has already said in her lawsuit. Think about it. 2 different women in 2 different places years apart saying similar things about Christian's behavior? That's not just a pattern. That's the case. If Ava testifies and her story backs up even a fraction of what's already out there, Christian could be facing serious time. And this doesn't just affect Christian. This drags Diddy right back into the mess. Because it's one thing when these cases are tied to his adult son, but it's another thing when a girl he brought into the home starts testifying. He made Ava part of the family. If she tells the court that Diddy knew, it's game over for his public image. This could expose more than just personal secrets. It could shine a light on what really went down behind those mansion doors. And let me tell you, fans are already piecing it all together. TikTok and Reddit have been blowing up with old clips, theories, and deep dives. People are revisiting that awkward live stream from 2020. Ava's stiff body language, her confused responses. It didn't look right then, and it definitely doesn't look right now. A person commented saying, "I always felt something was off about that live stream. Ava looked like she wanted to cry the whole time." Another one added, "Christian been getting protected for too long. If Ava speaks, it's over. They all knew and kept it quiet. This girl deserves justice." So, was this ever about family, or was it always about optics? Ava's voice has been missing from this story for too long. But now that she's starting to speak up, it's clear this wasn't just some random adoption gone quiet. This could be the thread that unravels the entire Combs image. What do you think happened to Ava? Was she used and dumped? Or is there still more that hasn't come out yet? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to hit that like button if this story has you rethinking everything too. And if you thought this was wild, wait until you hear what Diddy's former bodyguard just revealed.